What's up, baseball fans? Welcome back into another episode of the Magnolia Made podcast. Tonight, season 3, episode 18 of the live stream. And tonight we got a special episode as we will be previewing the 2026 MHSAA State Championship Series that are set to begin tomorrow at Trustmark Park in Pearl, Mississippi. Matt, I know baseball, the buzz is there. Everybody's ready to, get to the state championship series and get those matchups underway. I know there's some rain in the forecast as well this week, so hopefully that's not too big of an issue. I know you're going to be out and about watching games over at Trustmark Park. I know you had a scout day yesterday with Golden Spikes as well. How are things going your way, man?
Oh, just stacking miles, man, on that truck.
I hear you.
Moving around the state like you are. Yeah, we had the Golden Spike Scout Day yesterday. Good event as always. Starting to get a little warm. I think we had around 40 players there. We've got some content coming out from that. We're waiting on some stuff to upload, and we'll start getting out some tweets from some of the players there, and the numbers from the event should be coming out soon too. And then tomorrow getting up early and heading to Trustmark to watch everybody's game ones. I think pretty much everybody's playing tomorrow.
I can kind of run you through it real quick. Tomorrow it looks like you start with Class 4A, Poplarville and Mooreville at 10 a.m. 1 o'clock, you got 6A game one between Pearl River Central and Saltillo. 4 p.m., 5A game one, Summerall and Pontotoc, and then 7 p.m., that 7A game one between Petal and Oxford tomorrow.
Yeah, and then this time of year, man, you just the weather, you just never know what you're going to get. It gets warm and thunderstorms pop up during the afternoon, so you never know if it's going to be everything's going to go smooth or you're going to be waiting around till midnight. So
sure.
I've got to do that. I'm going to be watching the SEC tournament pretty closely as well. So yeah, man, a lot of baseball going on right now.
For sure. Brent's hopped in here. Quick comment. Good evening to both of you. I bet he's wanting you to pick Pearl River Central this week.
So you never know, Brent. You never know.
I don't know what direction Matt's going with his picks.
I don't know what direction I'm going. I'm just typing on ChatGPT right now.
Plugging in stats and telling it to give you the best outcome.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to win?
Speaking of numbers and picks, last series, that Final Four series, 1A through 7A, I got you at 8 for 14.
That's bad.
Total there. So, I mean, there were some good matchups, and, we talked about them last week. A lot of them could have went either way. I know that 7A series, both of those were really good. Back and forth there on where you were going with those picks as well. So all the series were good across the board last week. What's up?
Yeah, I'm just baseball in general. If you get to this level or this spot in the season, I mean, it's just anybody can pretty much play. I mean, they play with each other, and it's the talent level and or the competitiveness level in Mississippi's getting really interesting. Like, not really. It really doesn't matter as much. I still think 7A is different. I still think 7A baseball in the state of Mississippi is the top level. I mean, of course, you got Magnolia Heights that's just loaded with talent. But I do think even Magnolia Heights. Sorry, guys, but even Magnolia Heights, if they played in especially the Brandon, Northwest Rankin, Petal, Oak Grove division or district, they'd have a few more losses. I promise you. But I still think they would come out on top. But Mississippi baseball is pretty good, and for 3As, 4As, 2As can play with each other. I mean, they can play with 7As. So you got a 3A team that to me can play with any 7A team in the state. So it's just kind of evening itself out. It seems like over the last couple of years.
Yeah. Brian said East Webster all the way. All right, Matt, let's dive into it. Let's move right over into the Class 1A. We'll start with Class 1A and work our way up through 7A. Real quick, your total picks, you've made 162. There's been 162 total picks this spring throughout the brackets. You've got 125 of those picked correctly.
I can take that. I can't take 8-14, but that ain't bad.
Yeah, 77% is what I've got you at. So another big week of picks coming up for you this week with state championship series. We'll dive right in. Class 1A. Looks like 1A is set to begin Wednesday. That game one with Taylorsville and West Union is set for Wednesday, May 20th at 10 a.m. And then game two is set for Thursday at 1:07 p.m. And then that game three, if needed, would be a TBD on Saturday, I believe, is what it looks like. So let's dive right into.
I'd say 1:07 p.m.
It did say 1:07.
That could be like a ESPN Plus game or something.
I don't know the times. The times on the website they had 1:07, 4:07, and 7:07.
There you go.
So maybe a little commercial break there. Taylorsville, or we'll start in the north. West Union comes out of the north with a 24-9 record. Their path to Pearl, that round one sweep. They had a round one sweep over Faulkner, scores of 10-0 and 14-2 in that series. They were going to sweep round two over Ingomar, 11-1 and 21-6. Sweep round three against Pine Grove, 19-1 and 9-3. And then they would go 3 games in that North State Championship Series with Tupelo Christian. They would win game one, 5-1. Tupelo Christian took game two, 9-10. And then West Union come out on top in game three, 5-1. Taylorsville comes out of the south with a 16-17 record. And we'll talk more about that in just a minute. They had a round one series sweep over West Lincoln, 6-1 and 15-0. They went on to sweep round two over Noxapater, 8-4 and 6-5. They swept Resurrection Catholic in round three, 14-2 and 9-5. And then they had a 3-game set in that South State Championship Series with Stringer. They lost game one, 0-3, and then they come back and take game 2 and 3, 7-6 and 6-4. Now, we talked about that record there, 16-17. Taylorsville was 8-16, I believe, going into the playoffs.
Yep.
We talked about it all those last few sets of rankings where we really didn't want to keep them in there because they were playing up, but they were getting beat, so the record really didn't reflect where we needed them to be in the rankings, and we dropped them out of the top 10 there in Class 1A, and then they've went on this run in the playoffs, and they went. I guess 7-1 here maybe in the playoffs. So they've won 7-8 games, whatever, 8 games, I guess, here in the playoffs, and, a game under 500, and now they're playing for a chance at a state title. So,
yeah, we talk about this quite a bit, how their schedule at the beginning of the year is so tough. So you kind of can expect, with a 1A team to 1A all the way is interesting because with these two teams,
yeah,
Taylorsville plays such a hard schedule and seems like they have a rough record there in the early going. But then West Union gets started so late because I guess a lot of their players play multiple sports. In a small school like that, sometimes you get started late. I think West Union didn't have a game on the books until like week 3 after everybody else has already started. So they got going. They got going strong. Taylorsville fell off really early to the point. I can't remember exactly how far we dropped them. We may have almost dropped them out of the rankings because it was just out of the 1A rankings because it was getting pretty ugly there for them for a little while. But as you said, they figured some things out. That early season strength of schedule for those guys seems to have done the trick as they're prepared now for a deep run, and now they're finding themselves back in Trustmark. So, I do I want to make my pick right now?
I'm good with it.
Ready? These guys. Let's just kind of real quick. I've been seeing Noah Westbrook for Taylorsville. I think you got a chance to maybe shut that offense down a little bit for West Union. I'm trying to get. Oh, I got two different. Hold on one second. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Bear with me.
You're good.
I'm having to flip through several different. I don't have 8 computers like you do, so I'm having
only got 2 screens. I'm good.
I'm going back and forth, but I want to make sure I get some things right with this stuff. I mentioned that name, Noah Westbrook, and a couple of years ago I started noticing his name at the top of a lot of their stat sheets. A lot of it was pitching. Just going to give a little bit of numbers for Noah this year. Noah's thrown 59 innings. He's 4-3 with a 2.95 ERA. So him along with Horn for it's what's Horn's first name? I'm sorry, you got that pulled up.
It's Tanner Horn.
That's what I thought. Tanner Horn. He's got 59 innings. So that tells you kind of the bulk of the the pitching staff right there that's going to go up against a lineup that's pretty dangerous. You talk about, I think we were talking about right before we got on, John Gray Morrison, 12 home runs, and then Jackson Harrod, I think 10 home runs, hitting over 500.
Yep.
That's a tough task, so those guys from Taylorsville are going to have to probably, pitch around those two guys. My computer's really slow. Hold on one second, man.
You're good.
Why is it doing this?
And not just those two. I know Tyson Henry's a middle of the order bat. Mac Wallace is another bat that they rely on heavily. I'm just looking through the roster here. Jake Foreman, David Roberts, Braxton Burks, Luke Conley, Cooper Newby, Noah Johnson, and Cohen Russell as well.
Yeah, they've got six or seven. They've got 9 guys with 18 or more RBIs. So I mean, you're talking about a really tough lineup. So I just feel like this lineup, along with John Gray Morrison on the mound, Jackson Harrod on the mound. I'm sure they've got some other arms we're not mentioning. But between those two, Tyson Henry, I'm sorry, he's 44 innings. I just feel like this is going to be too tough a task for Taylorsville. So I'm going to go with West Union taking a state championship in 1A, and I think they're going to do it in 2.
Okay. So you're going West Union, going back-to-back. They won it back in 25 as well. Going West Union with a 2-game sweep.
That's what I think.
All right.
How this works.
Okay. Let's move it on to Class 2A. Oh, man, I forgot to throw these up. I had the bracket on here, dude. My bad. All right, 2A. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I missed both these. So it was not a good call for me. I fully expected Hamilton to be here just because we've seen them, in action a little bit more, and really liked the kind of style they were playing. Look, man, this is how baseball works. I'm sorry, East Webster is not new to this. They've had some really good teams over the last couple of years, and they got it done. So, man, I can't believe I got swept in this class.
It's all good.
We know a few of these guys. We've seen a few of those East Webster guys. Elliot Grimes is, I think Elliot was a super sophomore. Jordan Gaskin. Who else was on that? The Cross A event, Dylan Carpenter. I mean, we've seen some of these guys at some of our events, and I just feel like I might have known the personnel. I don't think I was making a call based on just knowing the Hamilton guys a little bit more. I feel like it was more of a educated call there, because I just liked the arms for Hamilton and the early part of their lineup. But East Webster got it done, man. So props to them.
Let me see when I'll run through that schedule real quick for Class 2A. Class 2A is set to begin on Thursday, actually. Thursday at 4:07 p.m. for Game 1, and then Game 2 will be, it looks like, Friday at 1:07 as well. And then Saturday, I guess, would be the if needed game 3. From the north, we have the East Webster Wolverines. They come in with a 29-5 record throughout the playoffs. They had a round 1 sweep over Charleston. Both those games ended in 15-0 scores. Round 2, they had a series win over Baldwin that went 3 games. They dropped game 1 4-8, then came back and took 2 and 3 by a final score of 10-6 and 1-0. Round 3, they had a series sweep over New Site, 6-4 and 6-1. And then round 4, they had the series sweep over Hamilton, 9-5 and 6-2. Coming out of the South, you have the Mize Bulldogs with a 29-8 record. Round 1, they would sweep Pelahatchie 16-0 and 10-0. Round 2 series sweep over Sacred Heart 10-1 and 11-4. Round 3 series sweep over Lake 20-3 and 3-1. And then that big series last week with Clarkdale, they dropped game 1 10-2, and then they come back and win game 2 and 3. Final scores of 10-3 and 5-4.
Yeah, Clarkdale is the easy pick because they've been there several times. Mize is making a really strong push.
I think you meant to say East. You said Clarkdale. I think you meant to say East Webster.
Oh, I'm sorry, East Webster.
You're good.
It's I think how many wins did East Webster have last year? Didn't they have 31, 32 wins last year?
They had a lot of wins. Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
And what's Mize right now? I think they're 29-8 or something.
29-8, and then East Webster's 29-5.
Yeah, that's Mize. Something's going on there, man. Trey Myers. We've had him at a few of our events. We've had Jonah Ainsworth at a few of our events. I think Hunter McAlvin. We've had some of these guys I recognize and kind of seen their talent. But something's going on there, man. This may be a gut pick, man, but I just feel like that if I go against them, you know what? I don't know. Do they want me to pick against them so they can use that? I feel a little bit weird about this. Hunter McAlvin may be a guy that can shut down that offense. Looks like he's got 99 strikeouts in 54 innings. And then Trey Myers, we've seen that talent. Guys, I think he's going to Mississippi Gulf Coast. Man.
You got to be careful here because you might be on a TikTok video.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if they're wanting me to go against them or go with them, but looking at this may be my toughest one of the night. I'm gonna go with Mize.
Okay.
Somewhat of an upset, I think. I think most people would probably pick East Webster, but I'm gonna go with Mize winning I don't know how many state championships they have, but they haven't won one, I don't think, since I've been doing this job. So I'm gonna pull, not pull, but I'm gonna say Coach Ainsworth and Mize gets it done in Trustmark.
Rolling with the Bulldogs. All right, Matt, let's turn it over to Class 3A here. Class 3A game 1 is set for Wednesday, May 20th at 4 p.m. That would be Presbyterian Christian and Boonville. Game 2, it looks like it is Friday, May 22nd at 4:07 p.m. there at Trustmark. Let's run through these two real quick. Boonville, the Blue Devils, they come in with a 20-13 record. They had a round 1 series sweep over North Panola, 16-0 and 16-1. A round 2 series sweep over Yazoo County. Is that right?
Yazoo, you got it.
I got you. 17-5 and 11-1. A round 3 series win over Nettleton that went 3 games. They took game 1 6-5, dropped game 2 10-4, and then they would win game 3 4-2. And they had a round 4 series sweep over Kossuth 5-0 and 9-3 in that 3A North State Championship Series. Coming from the South, Presbyterian Christian, the Bobcats come in with a 27-6 record. They had a round 1 series sweep over Jefferson County. Both those games ended 15-0 scores. Round 2, they had a series win over St. Andrews, which they dropped game 1 by a final score of 2-1. Then they would come back and win game 2 and 3, 11-1 and 5-1. They had a round 3 series sweep over Pisgah, 13-5 and 8-0 in that series, and then a round 4 series sweep over West Marion. I know you were at that game too. I believe those finals were 8-0 and 2-1. So,
yeah, that matchup between PCS and West Marion was something special, man. That was I'm not gonna lie. Colby Stringer had a no-hitter going into the 7th inning. I put my phone away, and then we all know how that ended up. So,
yep.
but PCS figured out a way to get it done against the best arm, arguably in the state. He was on fire like he's been all year, and they figured it out. I don't think they're going to have as tough a task with any of the arms at Boonville. To me, this is no offense to Boonville. We've got some guys that have come through. I think Jacob Matthews is there and was a junior future gamer. I just don't think they have enough firepower to handle what they're fixing to get from PCS and those two arms that they have that lead the pack. They do have some other arms. I mean, Seth Hadaway came in the other night and finished the job. So they do have some other arms. But I think I really feel like Tyner Flint and Bankston Walters are going to end this in 2. So I'm going with PCS over Boonville in 2.
All right, rolling with the Bobcats there. How's the weather looking, Matt? Let's see here. How's the weather looking for this week?
I've heard it's just cloudy, chance of storms every day. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of the perfect. That's kind of about what happens this time of year here. It starts getting warmer, and then the clouds kind of start coming together, and late in the afternoon, and get you a shower, and it pushes everything back. So hopefully, good thing is that Trustmark is now infield turf.
I forgot about that. I forgot they made that change. Yeah.
Yes, that should help a little bit, kind of getting things started a little quicker. But hopefully we have a good week and nothing really kind of gets backed up too far.
All right, let's turn it over to Class 4A. Poplarville and Mooreville set in this series. Game 1 is set for tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then Game 2 is set for Wednesday at 7 p.m. there at Trustmark Park. Be a if needed Game 3. It looks like that would be on Friday at 10 a.m. Get down here to 4A real quick. Mooreville, the Troopers come out of the north with a 28-8 record. How they got to Pearl, they had a round 1 series sweep over Tishomingo County, 7-0 and 2-1 in that series. A round 2 series sweep over Louisville, 13-3 and 14-2. Round 3 series win over Corinth. They took game 1 10-2, dropped game 2 4-1, and then come back and win that game 3 7-6. And then they had a round 4 series win over Kosciuszko, 8-2. They won in that first game, dropped game 2 17-4, and then they took game 3 3-2 to advance Trustmark. The Hornets from Poplarville, they come in with a 28-10 record. Had a round 1 series sweep over Bay. Final scores of 10-4 and 15-4. A round 2 series sweep over Newton County. I'm sorry, not a series sweep, a series win over Newton County. They dropped game 1 4-3, and they win game 2 and 3 8-5 and 4-2. A round 3 series win over Greene County. Again, they dropped game 1 in that series 10-8. And they would win game 2 17-16 and game 3 13-5. And then that South State Championship series, they had a series sweep over West Lauderdale, 1-0 and 9-1.
Yeah, this is a tough one too.
This is a tough one.
Yeah, I mean we're pretty familiar with the McDaniels boys from Mooreville. I mean, both two super high school baseball players. It's there you go.
Matt did go with the Bulldogs.
Eli, as I was saying, Eli McDaniels, Wyatt McDaniels, both two guys that you do not want to miss You cannot miss with those two guys. If you do, they will absolutely hurt your feelings. They've got another couple guys we're really familiar with. Dawson McMillan was a junior future. Any of those other guys, junior futures or future games guys? I don't think so. Jet Hussey's been a guy we've seen several times.
Cooper Goff. Cooper Goff.
Yeah.
I want to say he's an Itawamba commit. Don't quote me on that. Shortstop, and then Major Floyd's a key bat for him as well.
They've got a strong team, man. They really do, and some power. And they're kind of used to being there, So does that give them the advantage over Poplarville, who's making a really hard push this year? I think that's kind of where I'm at with this.
Well, and Moorville dropped the series last year at Trustmark, so they're looking.
But they've been there.
Yeah, they've been there. They're looking to win one.
So. Most of their roster's probably been there and going to go into that series and into that venue and realize, okay, we've done this before. It's not really a big deal. I'm not sure when's the last time Poplarville was there. Do we know that? We have that.
I don't have that info in front of me.
I don't know when that was. Somebody can help me out there if they know. Let's ask that question. Does anybody know the last time Poplarville was at Trustmark? I'm sure we'll get somebody to help us out with that. But going back to Poplarville, I mean, you talk about that Moorville lineup, but I will say Poplarville has 5 guys with 30 RBIs. So they score a lot of runs. We see their names. They send in leaders or top performers every week, and so we see their names, and we're familiar with the same several names. There's different ones on there quite a bit. 1978.
Yeah, 52 years ago.
He's joking. That's not.
I don't know. I mean, Brent hit us with 52 years. I'm assuming that means 1978.
1978. That's not 52 years. I was born in 71. I'm 54. Okay.
That's 74.
Wow, I would not. I mean, that's a long time.
They're saying 52 years, Matt.
Wow. Man. But like as I was saying, we've seen their names quite a bit. We're getting familiar with the production that they're creating. Ty Keys, I think Ty Keys might be a big time running back prospect too. I feel like I've seen some videos of him, and he's a strong kid. Jet Smith, up and coming player. Chase Sones, I think there's a few Sones kids on that team. Man, there's something weird that I don't know if this is me just wanting them to win, but I'm gonna go with Poplarville in 3.
Okay.
Over, I don't know if that's a gut feeling or if that's a personnel that I think is got the edge. And then the sentimental 52 years. But they've been hanging on and beating some teams and they got there. He's committed to running back at Miami. They're there. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I saw it. No,
wow. Yeah, I know. I seen the video. I'm like, the kid looks really strong. I don't know who's going to win this. I really don't. I don't think it's going to come down to somebody throwing a complete game shutout.
Yeah.
I feel like both these offenses are going to score runs. I don't quite know if either one of them's got an arm that's going to shut somebody down. So I'm going to go with an offensive slugfest 3-game win for Poplarville.
Yeah, I could see it definitely going 3 games. I mean, both teams have had a couple 3-game series throughout the playoffs. Yeah, it's going to be – I think you're right. I think it's going to be a slugfest. Whoever can score double-digit runs may win 2 out of 3.
I think so.
All right, rolling with the Hornets there in Class 4A. Let's turn it over to 5A. Let me throw that graphic up real quick. All right. Class 5A is set to begin tomorrow at 4 p.m. Sumrall and Pontotoc, Game 1. Game 2 for Class 5A. Is it really on Friday? They got to wait.
Yeah, we have a friend that goes there, and Big Eddie's probably listening right now. I think they're spreading it out. There may be some reasons for it, but I think they're going Friday as their second game, which is kind of crazy, but that's
yeah. Well, game 2 is set for 7:07 on Friday. Real quick, I mean, I'm just going to throw this out there. Can Drew Davis just throw both games? I mean, if you're
they can go 3-3 probably.
yeah, I was about like obviously the pitch
Why
count.
would you not? if you nah, I wouldn't do that. But I mean, if it's something gets out of hand in the first game, then yeah, he could go both games.
Wow. Huh.
I
don't know. That's just the first scenario that popped in my head there with it being 3 days apart.
That's not. That doesn't sound great for Pontotoc.
No. All right, moving it on. Let's run through the North here. The Pontotoc Warriors come in with a 21-13-1 record. Let's see here. I made a typo there. Let me see who was that round 1 sweep? I made a typo on my.
Or who?
Pontotoc. Who did they sweep in round 1? Was it Florence? It was Florence. Yeah, I got it right.
Yeah.
Florence. I made a typo on this article I put together. Round 1 series sweep over Florence, 9-6 and 3-2. They had a round 2 series win over Lafayette. They dropped game 1 in that series 4-1. Took game 2 2-0, and game 3 they won 9-1. And then this past week, round 3 series win over Caledonia. They won that series clean sweep 4-2 and 5-4. Coming out of the South, the Summerall Bobcats come in with a 30-6 record. They had a round 1 series win over Stone. They won game 1 13-3. They dropped game 2 16-15. They took game 3 4-0. They had a round 2 series win over Purvis. They dropped game 1 of that series 7-4. They won game 2 6-3, and then took game 3 12-1. And then they had another round 3. They had a series win over South Jones that went 3 games. They won game 1 7-0, lost game 2 11-0, and then took game 3 by a final score of 10-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going. In my head, I kind of know how this is going to play out. Drew Davis is going to win game 1. Okay. He's going to have to go up against Miller Finn or Corbin Clayton, which is, not an easy task. Those two guys can both bring it, and you're going to do it at the next level. I feel like Drew's going to have the edge. I don't think much offense is going to happen in that game. So I think Drew's going to have the edge, and Summerall will have the edge in game 1. So there you go. Game 2, I think, is going to go to Pontotoc because of one of those 2 arms that we mentioned.
Yeah.
And then game 3, as you just said, if it's Saturday, there's a pretty good chance that Drew Davis can come back. But even if he can't, Summerall's been getting it done in game 3 this year. So I'm going to go with Summerall in 3 over Pontotoc.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a good series.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's going to be a good one too, man. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, South Jones and Summerall kind of went the same way. That game 2, South Jones jumped all over them, and then game 3, Summerall figured out a way to get it done. So I think game 3 pitching, I might give the edge to Summerall, and that might be the reason. And then another part, going back to just experience and being there, those guys are used to this time of year and figuring out a way to get it done. Andy Davis that program is what it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
I got, a friend his son plays there. His older son played there. His daughter, Summerall just wins championships, man. My son's had a really good high school and the beginning of a college career and had never won a ring. My buddy Eddie, his kids, all 3 of them have state championship rings. They go to Summerall. So, as said, Summerall at 3 over Pontotoc.
All right, moving on to Class 6A here. The 6A schedule for this week, game 1 is slated for tomorrow at 1 p.m. That's Pearl River Central and Saltillo, followed by game 2 on Wednesday at 1 o'clock there at Trustmark Park, and if needed, game 3 It looks like it would be Thursday at 10 a.m. So that one's 3 days in a row there. Coming out of the north, you have the Tigers, Saltillo, coming in at 28-6 record. They had a round one series sweep over Greenville, 26-0 and 16-1. A round two series sweep over Ridgeland, 5-1 and 12-3. And then a round three series sweep over Grenada, 5-3 and 7-6. So the Tigers have been perfect throughout the playoffs so far. Pearl River Central, the Blue Devils come out of the South with a 29-7 record. They had a round one series sweep over Terry, 8-0 and 18-1. They had a round two series win over West Jones. They took game one 7-3, dropped game two 3-2, and then took game three 11-1. And then this past series against George County, they dropped game one 3-2, and then would take games 2 and 3 by a final score of 10-2 and 8-4.
Yeah, we've been I've been really impressed with Pearl River Central over the last couple of years when I've seen them play. They're kind of a scrappy bunch.
Yep.
And there's you want to see them do well. I just feel like they might be running into a pretty big task here. I feel like Saltillo plays as good of all around baseball as you'll see. As far they got a little pitching, they got a little hitting. They I don't know what they are defensively, but it's I would imagine they're doing pretty good. When I look at their numbers, I don't know if let me see if defense is on here where I've got, but you as a high school coach, if you get a defense that's above 90, 930, 940, you're probably doing pretty good. And I think they're around that mark. I think it's at 936, so fairly clean baseball, I guess. But I just feel like they're the most balanced team at 6A. I feel like they're gonna win this. I'm not sure if it goes 2 or 3, but I'm gonna go Saltillo over Pearl River Central. Nothing against Pearl River Central, and like I said, I just feel like this might be a little bit too much of a task for them. But they've had an excellent season, and I can see them doing this. They swing the bat. Maybe this is a gut call. I don't know. What do you think? Got anything to add on that?
No, I really don't. Like you said, I think it could go either way. I think Pearl River Central is a scrappy team. Saltillo's obviously been perfect throughout the playoffs, and they've got a really good roster. What I'm looking at here: Luke Reynolds, Logan Heisel, Tucker Phillips, E.J. Rogers, Cooper Childs, Jace P., Cody Carnathan on the mound's been good for them all year. Corbin Sheffield, I think, is thrown in the playoffs as well. I think it could go either way.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn kind of here, but we've kind of rolled with Saltillo all year since the start of the season. Were they not number one at the beginning of the year for us?
Yeah, they stayed in the one spot, and I believe Pearl River Central flipped between like 2 and 3 there.
I guess there's no reason that I'm saying that it's I'm not really pulling for either team. I think it'll be a really good matchup. And I guess heartstrings want to pull for Pearl River Central because Saltillo's done it lately. But I think because we've had Saltillo number one all year, they've been getting it done in every series. Did you say they swept Grenada? Or they swept Grenada? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Greenville, Ridgeland, and Grenada so far in the playoffs.
Yeah, I just feel like they're on a roll right now, and that's just kind of I guess that's why I give them a little upper edge in this, but that should be a good series.
All right, rolling with the Tigers there. Moving on to Class 7A. Let's see, get the schedule pulled up. Game 1 for Class 7A between Petal and Oxford is set for tomorrow at 7 p.m., followed by Game 2 on Thursday, May 21st at 7:07 p.m. Coming out of the north, you have the Chargers from Oxford. They come in with a 24-12 record. They had a round one series win over DeSoto Central, and those 3 games were tight. They dropped Game 1 4-2, and they would take Game 2 3-2, Game 3 3-1 to win that series. They had a round 2 series sweep over Starkville, 8-1 and 2-0, and then a round 3 series win over Lewisburg. They dropped Game 1 14-12, took game 2 10-0 and game 3 7-2. The Panthers come out of the South. Petal, they come in with a 22-12 record. They had a round 1 series sweep over Ocean Springs, 9-3 and 7-3. A round 2 series sweep over Gulfport, 13-3 and 5-4. And then a round 3 series sweep over Brandon, 10-7 and 8-3.
Okay.
Week Good luck.
1, 2, 3, 4. I would have said Petal Panthers in 2.
Yeah.
I just felt really strong about Petal. They kind of, they're kind of like Brandon right now in the last few years. They've done lost 12 games. So it's, yep. I think Oxford's lost 12 games too.
And I will say, ever since like week 1 or 2 of the season on the podcast, you have said the winner of 7A is more than likely going to have double-digit losses.
Yeah, they beat each other up every week, man.
Yeah.
And that's it's just a level that's usually because of the size of the school. They've got multiple athletes, multiple arms. Usually you have a 1 and a 2. A lot of times at the lower levels you have a 1. Like take for instance West Marion. West Marion's got the one of the arguably the best arm, in the state, and they don't really have a number 2 that's, no offense to any of those guys, but it's not the same as your number 1. It's a big drop, and so usually in 7A you do. This year a little less than last year and the year before, but both these guys have some arms, or both these teams have some arms. I mean, Petal Panthers, you've got how many future gamers they got? I know they've got. Let's see here. Cooper Geiger, was the man at the future games last year. Lefty, low 90s. I mean, Ole Miss commit. He's your arm. I would imagine is going to go game 1. I'm not going to say for sure that happens. And then Hayes Huggins up at Oxford, and then they've got Rob Upchurch. They've
Bryce Pinkins, Ford Wade, Whitten Ellis, James Blackwood.
Yeah, so they got something.
Both these rosters are.
They have some. This is one of those things. I think if let's just say, let's take this game by game. I think if Cooper Geiger goes game 1, it's going to be if he gets going early, he's going to win game 1. I mean, I think if he struggles early in the beginning with the command or anything, it could go another direction. Because we've seen that a little bit on him. He's got a dominant arm, but like most high school pitchers, especially guys that have skinny frames like him, you never know. Sometimes you're going to get an electric night where he goes out and strikes out 12 in 6 innings, or you're going to get a night where he goes out and he walks 6 guys in 4 innings. You just kind of never know what you're going to get sometimes with those guys. I've got one in my household, but I feel like he's ready. I feel like we know what he's got. I feel like he hasn't seen these guys this year. I don't think they didn't play each other. I don't think this year. I think they played last year.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
But I'm not sure if he's
while you're talking.
Huh?
I said I can go dig for it while you're talking.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the edge to Petal in game 1 because of mainly Cooper Geiger. Now they do have some offense. We got Fisher Howell on there too. Easton Geiger. I saw Easton's brother he was playing for Nicholls State the other day. I got to see him play. That whole Geiger family is talented. Dawson Dykes is an uncommitted senior that's been getting it done a little bit for those guys. Trey Barnes, you're talking about a Southern Miss commit. Jalen Lee was a super sophomore. So they've got some talent there in that lineup, and I feel like that game 1 will go to Cooper Geiger or go to Petal, possibly in the hands of Cooper Geiger. Game 2 gets a little interesting. That drop down's a little bit on the pitching staff. Now they do have some arms at Petal, but I feel like Oxford can go a couple different directions. I think they're probably going to go with Hayes Huggins. I think he's their number 1. It's based on numbers. I don't know if I can pull his numbers up real fast.
I mean, I think Pinkins has been throwing. Upchurch has been throwing a little bit.
Yeah. I was going to mention those 2 arms.
Yeah.
We know a little bit about those guys. I want to look and see who's been getting the bulk. I think it's Hayes Huggins, man. I hit Oxford, Alabama. My bad. Hold on one second.
Wrong one.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's just kind of see here and who has the most innings on this team. I really feel like it's Huggins. Never mind. They don't have stats. So we see his name a lot. I know that. He's one of their go-to arms. Like you said, they do have talented younger guys. They got a roster that's, I think, 27s, 28s loaded. They've who am I thinking of right now? Let me go back.
And I'm going to interrupt you real quick. It looks like that last series with Lewisburg, they went Upchurch game 1, Huggins game 2, Pinkins game 3.
Yeah, there you go. So I feel like Oxford's going to have the edge in game 2 because they do have a little bit more. I don't say a little bit more. I just maybe haven't seen who Petal's going to throw out there in game 2. But we do know a little bit about the Oxford staff. They've also got Bowen Vaughn, who's an up-and-coming left-handed hitter that we like. Bryce Pinkins, I think, is one of our top 3 players in the state in that class. Yep. Big, strong kid. Ford Wade, big old guy. I think he's going to play football in college. But James Blackwood, you mentioned. I mean, this is going to be pretty good matchup. I wouldn't have guessed this was going to be the matchup. I don't think anybody really was penciling in Oxford versus Petal for a state championship. Maybe the guys in Petal. I think Petal had more of at the beginning of the year. Somebody I would have wrote in here. But this is where we are. Not to say Petal couldn't get here, but you think 12 losses is you start wondering. But as Brandon has proven over the last couple of years, it doesn't really matter. As we said just a few minutes ago, 7A is going to have 10, 12 losses. Game 3 is going to be interesting. It's going to come down to a little bit of a battle with the bats. Oh man, this is game 3. Who you got?
This is your pick, man. I'm gonna let you do it.
Let me ask you this: how many? What is my 1A pick?
West Union.
Yeah. 2A.
You went West Union, Mize, PCS, Poplarville, Summerall, Saltillo.
So I've got a little bit of representative in the north. I just didn't want to look like I was picking all South teams.
No, you're 4-2. You've got 4 South, 2 North.
Oh man, Oxford really gets me going, man. They really. I think they use this a little bit too. So I'm gonna give them something else to use. I'm gonna go Petal.
Oh man,
3 over Oxford for a state championship. Petal was a dominant force back when I was kind of coming up, man. When I was in, I think around I'm not sure the years. I'm getting old, but they used to be a really like the top team in the state, and they've been a great program forever. But I think they're going to get it again this year.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's your 1A through 7A preview of state championships that are set to begin tomorrow, along with Matt's picks. Matt, I know we also.
I'm still stuck on it. I think it's because I'm looking at this roster and I think maybe the edge goes to Panther because they're a little bit more mature. Like they're a little bit. They're not as many underclassmen. Yeah, I think that may be why I'm giving them the edge too. Because
probably just think
your team, I think, is going to be back in this next year.
Yeah, they could be. I think you're thinking a little too much. Maybe you should just bring your wife in and let her pick based on the logo. It looks better. And they probably
go colors or logo. That's what my wife would pick.
There you go. They probably have more success than we would. All right, that wraps that up.
I know this. My wife's not picking Petal.
Oh yeah,
because we've Mo Grove.
Blue Devils in 3. I think you got Brent. Brent may not watch another podcast. You picked against him this week.
Look, I'm not saying anything. It could happen. All these picks, these are just kind of, I don't know. We're trying to make educated decisions, but there's always outliers that we just don't know. A guy that steps up and has a great weekend that we just didn't know much about. Heart takes over. There's a lot of things that happen when you get in this series.
No doubt. All right, let's briefly run through summer schedule real quick. Our summer events have already got ramped up with a Golden Spike Scout Day that Matt had yesterday down at Meridian Community College. And then I believe you got Easley coming up on what, the 27th?
Yeah, that'll be a Wednesday. We'll go and do the same thing we did yesterday with Golden Spike, spend a little afternoon with them, and highlight some of their players. And we've done it same as Golden Spikes. We've done it the last 4 or 5 years. It's always a good day. Ed does a great job with that group up there. Yeah, man, it's we're looking forward to that day. And then after that, everything's pretty much on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
With our ID events. We've got our ID events start. Our first one will be June 2nd at Pearl River Central. And then we've got a
community college. You're thinking high school, but I know you're good. Yep. Brent's in your head, man.
Pearl River Community College. Then we'll be up at Clinton High School for our Central Mississippi ID on the 23rd. And then we'll be up at Starkville High School. That Starkville High School park is really nice.
Yeah.
Starkville High School on June the 30th. Back at Southern Miss on July the 7th. Up at Oxford on July the 14th. And then we're heading a couple weeks later, headed over to the future games at Lake Point. All these ID events are a way to come in and work, kind of update your profile, get used to the scene, used to the environment of a showcase. Just a really good way to get things going for you on your profile and the recruitment process for yourself. Talk a little bit about the Magnolia State games too. Here you go, Carson Richardson. Can't wait. I can't wait too, man. This is going to be a big deal this year. We've got over 140 players already registered. We've got 12 teams. We're going to come in that morning and do we got to work on that format to make sure this runs as smooth as possible. And I hope rain doesn't get us this year at all. Last year it got a little damp there for about an hour or two, kind of push things back. We do everything we can to handle those situations, but hopefully this year we won't have to deal with it. But we're going to come in that morning and run our showcase. And then that afternoon, we're going to get going with 12 different teams. Each team's going to play 2 games, one on Tuesday and one on Wednesday. Following that event, this gives us a chance to see some of the best talent in Mississippi. And then we're going to choose select some guys to send invites to for some national stuff that's going to happen in late July. The future games, the junior future games, the senior games, and then the following weekend will be the super sophomore. So everybody coming to this event has an opportunity to maybe get invited to go to Atlanta, unless you're uncommitted, or unless you're committed.
Yep.
If you're committed, you're just coming out here to show off, and that's we love it when that happens. So I'm really looking forward to it. Dude. Trying to go bigger and better this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's going to be a fun 2 days.
Already sold out position player wise.
Yep. Nobody. Yeah. There'll probably be some drops. We always get a few. So if you're interested in coming as a position player, you can send me an email and we can put you on a waiting list. And if your position opens up, we can do that. We do have space for about maybe 10 to 12 more POs. So if you want to come in and just throw 2 or 3 innings, we can handle that. And we're probably going to do day 1 is when we'll have most of the video guys and all that stuff there. So I'd like to get our pitchers probably thrown on day 1. So if you're listening and you're planning on coming to the Magnolia State games as a pitcher, you're probably going to be coming day 1. So, but yeah, man, I'm excited about it. Big group already, bigger and better every year.
For sure. Well, that wraps up our episode tonight. We appreciate everybody tuning in, as always. Appreciate everybody being engaging and dropping their comments, supporting their teams this week. Obviously, this will be our last podcast for the high school season. Matt, I know typically in the past we've just kind of, hopped on here before the state games or hopped on here before the future games. As the summer is just, we're running in 1,000 different directions with tournaments, showcases, and everything else. So we will obviously, if we're hopping on the podcast, we'll keep everybody updated on social media well in advance, so you can hop on and tune back in. But we appreciate everybody who's been in here week in and week out with us this spring. If your team's playing this week at Trustmark Park, best of luck to you guys, and we will see you at the ballpark. So thank you guys for tuning in.
See you guys. Good luck to y'all.